Well, hello, my Supreme subscribers. This is Supreme G here, and I got a reaction video for all of y'all. Well, this one is from Brain Dose and stuff. This one is called 12 Toxic Behaviors Are Considered Normal But Aren't Considered Normal, I mean. So, anyway, let's get a reaction, shall we? Here we go. Alright, Brain Dose.
Brainy Dose presents 12 toxic behaviors that are considered normal, but aren't.
Alright.
The only time that toxic was ever okay was Britney Spears, circa 2003.
Yep.
Yet, there are certain behaviors that we've started to allow each other to get away with, and it's not okay anymore.
Exactly.
Regardless of whether you're on the giving or receiving end of these, the outcomes are rarely, if ever, good. So let's be better by avoiding them.
Okay.
Here are 12 toxic behaviors that are considered normal, but aren't, or at least shouldn't be. Number 1. Insincerity.
Insincerity.
Insincerity is defined as not expressing or showing true feelings.
Okay.
Think of all the ways this can show up in your life, whether in your professional life at work, your personal life in your friendships, or romantic relationships. It may not be intentional, and could even seem harmless or necessary, but sincerity
Exactly.
always prevails. For example, a friend asks you what you think of her new hairstyle. To be honest, it's hideous.
Wow.
Should you be insincere to spare her feelings and fawn over how stylish she looks? No. Should you be honest and tell her it's hideous? Also, no.
Yep.
There are ways to be sincere,
Exactly.
tactful, and kind, all at the same.
Because you can't judge somebody's hairstyle like that if you're not interested in somebody's hairline. That's the question and stuff. Because you can't put in somebody's feelings in the comments this way and stuff. That's the issue of it.
time. It's a balancing act that gets easier with practice, but it can, in fact, be attained.
Okay.
Number 2, ghosting.
Ghosting.
For those of you who are fortunate enough not to have experienced it yourself, ghosting is when someone, usually someone you're dating, disappears and stops all communication with you unexpectedly. It's rejection, but without the finality. You're basically left wondering without answers.
Wait. So ghosting means that someone who related to you disappears and stuff. That's the difference and stuff because when you date someone, it just disappears all the way and stuff. So that makes sense.
Forever, or until you get over it. It's become so common that we've started to accept it. But in all reality, it's cowardly. And we owe it to ourselves and each other to be better than that. So next time someone sends you 30 texts in a row and you're just not interested, politely let them know. If you really want to be a decent human, you could even pick up the phone and have an actual conversation with them. Number 3, passing judgment on others. Passing judgment is a natural occurrence. When we meet people, we judge them based on what they present to us. We call these first impressions. The problem is that we can only process what other people have shared with us. We never really know everything that someone else is going through.
Wow.
Let's say one of your good friends wants to introduce you to another one of their friends. You meet, and that person doesn't seem all that great to you. That's a fair first impression. But what you might not know is that perhaps this person is going through a really tough breakup. And that's why your mutual friend is trying to encourage them to socialize more. Passing judgment is going to happen. The important thing is to remain open-minded. Passing judgment too quickly, or without the opportunity to learn more, could cause you to miss out on some wonderful things in life. Number 4, arrogance.
Arrogance.
Arrogance is defined as showing an offensive attitude of superiority. It's not cool.
Exactly.
Who wants to hang out with someone who thinks they're better than you, or makes you feel like less than you are? It's important to be confident,
That's the same
but
I would
not to
feel,
the point of
too.
arrogance. And arrogance is usually a cover for insecurity anyway. Number 5, being
Here's the
overly...
thing, though, homies. Here's the thing. I would never hang around with a first best friend like they that cool and stuff because they do a sensitive way, sensitive look sometimes the way towards your peers and stuff this way and stuff. So it makes sense.
Really competitive. A little competition is always fun. It can be really motivating for some people, but like many things, there's a limit to what's acceptable. When you're overly competitive, you value the victory over the people, and that can
Okay.
destroy your relationships.
Yeah.
As they say, it can be lonely at the top, but
Yep.
it doesn't have to be. Being competitive isn't inherently bad, but if it gets to the point that it's negatively impacting your relationships, then you might want to take a step back and reassess.
Okay.
Winning isn't always worth it.
Yeah, that's the
Number
difference.
6, playing the victim.
The victim.
Some people have it really tough. We're all going through our own things, and
Okay.
sometimes it can be overwhelming. But it's important not to develop a victim mentality. The victim
Exactly.
mentality handicaps you and limits you from reaching your full potential. Regardless of your past or even existing circumstances, it's up to you to make the changes you need to be happy. There's no shame in asking for help, but helplessly waiting for someone to rescue you could leave you quite lonely. Number
Yeah, I kinda
7,
feel that way, too.
attention seeking. Attention seeking behavior, whether conscious or subconscious, is an attempt to become the center of attention, sometimes to gain validation or admiration. This might look like someone fishing for compliments or saying something completely outlandish just
Yep.
to elicit a reaction. Like arrogance, this is usually rooted in some deeper insecurity or past trauma. These
Exactly.
attention-seeking behaviors tend to get progressively worse, and if
Yep.
things become risky enough, someone could get hurt.
Exactly.
It's better to get to the root of the attention-seeking before things get out of control.
Okay.
Number 8, people-pleasing.
All right.
People-pleasing is going out of your way to make others happy, even when it costs your own time and resources. Like arrogance and attention-seeking, people-pleasing is rooted in insecurity and a lack of self-esteem. People-pleasers often think so low of themselves that they believe the only way someone else will like them is if they do things for them. Doing things for others
Exactly.
is great, but not when you're doing it to gain their approval. This goes back to the issue of self-worth. Once you know who you are and where your values come from, people-pleasing becomes easier to stop. Number
Okay.
9, selfishness.
Selfishness. Okay.
People-pleasing can be thought of as being overly generous. So on the opposite end of that spectrum, we find selfishness. Someone
Mhm.
who is always out for themselves will eventually lead a very lonely life. Being
Yeah.
selfish puts you at the center and pushes everyone else out in a way. So while you might score now, in the long run, you'll find yourself with little to show for it. Number 10,
Dang
perfectionism.
straight.
Perfectionism is striving toward
Perfectionism.
flawlessness or perfection. But perfection is unattainable, so it's only a
Perfection,
setup
I
for
mean.
disaster and disappointment. Striving for perfection is unrealistic and can lead to various problems, like depression or low self-esteem. Instead of striving for perfection, you should strive to be better and challenge yourself in new and exciting ways so that you are constantly growing. Number 11, not speaking out.
Not speaking out.
For some people, it's a lot more difficult to speak out than it is for others. However, it's important on many levels.
Like, here's the thing, though. Like I'm saying right now, it was hard for people. Well, not hard for people, but it was hard for me to speak out while I tried to explain the whole scenario of the video and stuff. So I had to explain it to y'all and stuff anyway. So yeah, that's why I had to speak it out and stuff.
When it comes down to it, we should all be brave and confident enough to say what we think.
Okay.
Sometimes people are too afraid to speak out first, but if you can muster up the courage to share your thoughts, you'll often
Right.
find that others were thinking or feeling the same thing, and we're just waiting for someone else to say something. Number 12, gossiping.
Gossiping.
Gossip is just so tempting, but it's so bad for you and everyone else. Think of all the other great, productive, enjoyable conversations you could be having, instead of talking about the dirty details behind someone's back.
Okay.
Sometimes you get caught up in it without even trying. You were in the break room at work, peacefully eating your cup of noodles, when Shirley and Nancy walk in, gabbing about Fred and Roberta. Whether you call them
Wow.
out on it or walk away is up to you. But either is more admirable than joining in on the gossip.
I will walk
If
away
you wouldn't
too.
have that conversation with that
That's
person
question.
present, then you probably shouldn't be having that conversation at all. We looked at a lot of toxic behaviors. Some we're guilty of ourselves, and some we've had to endure from others. There were a few common trends in there too. Did you catch them? Lots of these behaviors are rooted in insecurity. How many
Yep,
are you
pretty
guilty
much
of?
true,
Let us know in the comments below.
and I
If
will.
you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. and share with your friends so we can keep making them. For more
Okay.
videos like this, hit the subscribe button and remember to click on the notification bell.
Okay.
Also, be sure to check out our other videos as well. Thanks for watching.
And you're welcome. That's the question. Like, can you believe this, homies? Like, 12 toxic behaviors in that age to get so very rude and respectful to you and stuff. Disrespectful, I mean. Like, you can't do these type of stuff to a person like that. That makes them, like, feel some type of way towards you that way and stuff. So, don't ever do that to yourself like that ever again, homies. Yep, that's the option. So anyway, I hope you like this reaction video. Please subscribe to my channel once again and have a good night, homies. And remember, peace out.